All right, we're back. Now, we've established the difference between formulas and functions. And we said functions are self-defined expressions. Formulas are self-defined expressions that we use for calculations, while functions are built-in formulas. So these functions, they already exist on our spreadsheet. And then I said, well, we'll be starting with the aggregate functions, which we have the sum function, just like we know for addition. We have the average, the count, max, mean. So all these are part of aggregate functions, which we'll be starting with for our analysis. And then we use the round between function. So I'm going to redo that. Equal to, remember I said before you start any calculation, you have to use the equal to sign. So equal to round between. So what the round between does is it generates random numbers between the specified numbers you specify, your specified figures. So the top is talking about the lowest number it should start from, and sorry, the bottom, the lowest number it should start from, and then the top, the highest it should start from. Now these values in this bracket, they are called arguments. They are called arguments. Do we get that? They are called arguments. Now, if we want to generate random numbers between 100 to 200, so 100 is our list, right? And then 200. So if we do that, do you see we have 195? So if I drag this down, so it generates numbers between 100 to 200. Now, remember I said the formula bar shows us the formula or the function that we're using. If you look very closely, you see that these figures, they are changing. Why are they changing? That's because they are called volatile functions. So volatile functions, they change. They change. Now, for us to make it not change, we'll highlight, right? We'll highlight, and then we'll copy it, Control C, paste it on another column, and then we'll use the alt key on your keyboard, alt ESV, so that it's called paste special. Now if we drag this, you see that it no longer changes. So that is how we can make our volatile functions not to change. So I'll just delete this since we are not using this. All right, I hope we are following. If you're following, I want you to type on the comment section, following. Yeah, thank you. Now the next thing we'll do is, now I want to use each of these aggregate functions for this figure. So let's say, let me just name it quantities. So let's say we have food and then quantities, right? All right, now the sum function will definitely add up everything here, right? So but if you want to use a formula, that's where you will see us now clicking on this and then doing plus, clicking on this, doing plus. Do you get? So this is going to give us, this is a formula because we defined the expression, but function will be faster for us. So we're going to use the sum function. Remember, equal to sum tab. So we'll just highlight everything here. We'll highlight everything. Do we get that? Close your bracket, enter. So it gives us the total figure of everything we have here. Wow, 2027. It's taking us to next year already. So If I'm to click on this figure, this is our total figure, you see that on my formula bar is giving me the formula that we used. And remember when we talked about the name box, it's telling us that it started from G2 to G15. So of which column? G, row 2. Do we get that? Yeah. That is how we can use the sum function. How about the average function? So for the average function, if we want to get the average of these figures, okay, let's do it here. So let's say average equal to, so now let's get the average of these figures here. All right, so we have our average. Let's put this as a heading so that we know we're working with average. So I'm just using this for our introductory part. Equal to average. Now we're going to select. So since we are using everything, we just highlight everything. Just click and drag down. Close the bracket, enter. Do you see that? So it has given us the average of the figures that we have here. So that's how to simply use our average function. Do we get that? Same with our count. Okay, so let's say now remember the count function will only count it. It's not going to add up. It's just count it like normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we get that? So let's do that and see. So we're ensuring that it's beginners friendly for those persons that had zero knowledge initially. I hope I'm not too fast. Okay, so do you get that now? We have 14. That's because if we're to count it, which manually is going to take time, but let's just do that for those that might still be doubting how we got 14. So what it just did, it counted the cells. The cells we highlighted. Remember we highlighted till G15, which is this. So it counted it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's how we came about 14. Do we get that? All right, thank you. Now, max. So max is going to return the highest value. What is the highest value? If we want to do it manually, it's going to take our time. So, but with our function, we can do it in a twinkle of an eye. So just type in our max function and then highlight. Do you get that? Highlight, enter. So it gives us 198 as our highest value. Initially I was thinking it was 194. So you see, this is more accurate and time saving, of course. Let's go to our mean. Okay, so our mean equal to mean. So mean is going to give us the lowest value. I hope we're following. So we have 107. Do you see that? So it's super fast, time saving. So these are for our aggregate function. Now we also have something. We have the large function. We have the large function and we have the small function. So this function works with position. Let's say we want to return the highest, the second highest. Okay, under our max now we have 198. So Which other figure is following? Let's say we are dealing with quantities of chicken. Okay, we have the highest 198. So what other figure is following? Are we getting it? So we now use our large, because max will just give you just the highest, but our large function will give you the second highest, or we'll call it the nth position of the highest. The nth position means any position you want it to give you. If you want the fourth highest, the fifth highest, do we get that? So equals to large. So the array is the range of numbers, the range where your values are, where your figures are. Do we get that? So we'll select the array like we've been doing, and then comma. So the k is the position. For those using Google Sheets, you see it will show you n. It will show you n. But for Excel, it show you k. So it's just telling you the position. So let's say we want to know the third highest. So I'll put 3 and then close bracket, enter. Do you see this? So it's giving me 188. This means that 188 is the third highest value that we're having here. Do we get that? All right. Then we have the small. So for the small, it gives us the nth position of the smallest. So mean will just give us the smallest, like the lowest, but small will give us, like, let's say we want to know the second lowest, just like our large. So it's just an opposite of large. So equal to small. Remember, you always have to start with equal to, and then you highlight your array, which is the range where you have your values, then your comma. So since we want to use second, our k will be 2. We want to use fifth, our k will be 5, depending on the position that you want it to return. Do you see this now? So our second smallest is 107. That's also our smallest. So let's see. Okay, let's see for. So it returns the position of the smallest value. I hope we got this. So next we'll be moving into conditional formatting. Now, conditional formatting is also a way of carrying out analysis on our Microsoft Excel. Sit back while we go into conditional formatting.